set for Saturday Night Baseball at Miller Park, and what a great night for the grand old game. A huge crowd filing in. We are set up for a sellout. Game 2, the Chicago Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers. The Cardinals have just lost. They lost to the Pirates at home, and that means the Brewers are now 10 games up in the National League Central. They can push that to 10.5 games ahead of the second-place Cardinals by day's end. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from beautiful Miller Park. Great to have you with us tonight alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. The Brewers are winning last night and getting a lot of support from the supporting cast. But at the end of the day, Rock, it seems like it is Braun and Fielder, and they were certainly back in the spotlight again last night.
Yeah, after falling behind 2-0, George Katars, the backup catcher, chiming in with a home run to get things going. And then with a couple of men on, an absolute bullet rocket off the wall. In right field, scoring Corey Hart. A throwing error, something the Cubs have been doing a lot of. Able to score a couple of more runs. Prince Fielder showing he's just not a power hitter. He's a heck of a hitter. He's got that batting average over 300. Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder, certainly the two straws that stir this drink for the Brewers. These two guys are the reasons why the Brewers have more wins at home than any team in all of baseball. Look at the numbers that just jump off the charts at you. And the good thing for the Brewers is the other guys around them starting to really play well.
Now the big home numbers, OPS over 1,000. You see Fielder leads all major league players with home numbers, with home runs and RBIs. And the dynamic duo, Braun and Fielder, back in the starting lineup once again tonight. We got a great pitching matchup tonight. It is Giovanni Gallardo against Ryan Dempster. We'll talk about the matchup when we continue on WMLW. Baseball on WMLW is presented by Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By Feltco. For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELTCO. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Pennant Race fever alive and well. The parking lot's jam-packed. A big sellout crowd tonight. The roof is open here at Miller Park. And what a pitching matchup. Giovanni Gallardo, you see what he's done in his last 5 against the Cubs. 2 of those from this season. Has an earned run average of 1.69. He's been very good against Chicago lately. Meanwhile, his mound opponent, Ryan Dempster, he has always given the Brewers fits. Over his last 6, a 3-1 record, an earned run average at 1.38. So these two pitchers have good memories facing their opponents here tonight. And back at Miller Park, and Rock, we have, I think, one of the best pitching matchups in all of baseball tonight in Dempster and Gallardo for game 2.
Yeah, both of them throwing the baseball pretty well. The thing for Gallardo as of late, establishing the fastball, He's been able to get ahead in the count, eat up innings, and really keep the pitch count down. You see what the numbers are. His last 7 starting. Opponent batting average around 200, the ERA at 206. He's been able to manage his pitch count extremely well. That has been the big difference. The big curveball has been the put-away pitch. And when you talk about an opponent that the Brewers have really had a tough time against, it's been Ryan Dempster. I mean, this guy has been unbelievable. It seems as though he could just throw his glove out there and beat the Brewers. 11-3 in his last 35 games. That includes in the bullpen. But this guy has been throwing the baseball well. He got off to a rough start in the month of April, much better. He's been good against the Brewers, but the Brewers able to get to him in his last start on July 26th. He only gave up 3 runs, but once again, the Brewers pitching staff able to hold the Cubs down, and they finally got that win against Ryan Dempster.
And that win that night, Dempster's been so good against the Brewers, it kicked off a great run. The Brewers are still on that run. They've won 25 of their last 30 ball games, and they truly are living the high life here in Milwaukee. Game 2 is coming up. It's the Brewers and the Cubs, and we've got it here for you on WMLW. Getting set for the Brewers and the Cubs tonight on WMLW. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us. Chris Withers producing, Michael Odino directing tonight's game. And the Brewers coming off a win last night, and after the game last night made a roster move. Tim Dillard sent out, needing to get some work on the mound. Dillard sent to Nashville, and Taylor Green gets his first chance in the major leagues. He was having a great year down there.
Yeah, down at third base. And, you know, Tim Dillard, I mean, he's one of those odd men out in that bullpen. The starting rotation has done such a good job that really didn't need that extra pitcher. And Taylor Green, kind of a surprise move a couple of days before the rosters expand. So you figure you bring him up, you figure he's going to get some action. We'll see when Ron Renneke elects to use him.
Left-handed bat off the bench today. There is Mike Quade. First full season as the Cubs manager, took over for Lou Piniella last year. And his Cubs line up this way with Starlin Castro, Darwin Barney, and Aramis Ramirez at the top. Carlos Pena, Tyler Colvin, and Marlon Byrd in the middle, with Alfonso Soriano, Giovanni Soto, and Ryan Dempster rounding it out. Starting 9 for the Cubs to face Giovanni Gallardo, And Yo ready to work. His first pitch is in there for a strike, and away we go on a beautiful night for baseball. 76 degrees, hardly a cloud in the sky, and the roof is open, very comfortable inside Miller Park. One of the few ballparks around the country that has great weather. There's been such rough weather out east with Hurricane Irene. A lot of games lost today, double headers postponed. Brewers very fortunate they were able to get this kind of weather this late in the season and have this ballpark to play in. 0-2 to Castro, and Gallardo just missed. Not by much. Castro hit a first inning home run here yesterday. Cubs took a 2-0 lead yesterday. After 3 innings of play, the Brewers would score 5 unanswered and a 5-2 win. Bouncing ball to Gallardo, and his night begins with a 1-3 putout.
Oh, check out our Lexus starting pitcher for Milwaukee here tonight. Yvonne Gallardo having a very good month of August. He's 2-1 in 4 starts and a .257 earned run average. He's 3-1 career against the Cubs and making his 4th start this year against Chicago.
Darwin Barney in the 2-hole tonight. Hit second last night, was 0 for 4. And Gallardo pouring in the strikes early tonight as he gets ahead of Barney. There's Tom Hallion. He's calling the balls and strikes. He is also the crew chief. Bill Miller, James Hoy, and Phil Cuzzy join him on the base paths. Quickly 0-2.
And just like we were talking about on our broadcast open, Yvonne has been establishing fastball and getting ahead in the count with good location with his fastball, keeping it down on the corners.
Gallardo has made 2 starts against the Cubs this year. A no decision way back in April. It was just his 3rd start of the season. Had a no decision against the Cubs in June as well. That was at Wrigley Field. Check the defense for the Brewers, brought to you by Menards. With Braun, Morgan, and Hart in the outfield, you've got McGee, Betancourt, Hairston, and Fielder around the horn. Lucroy does the catching tonight. George Katara started behind the plate last night, hit a home run. Lucroy back in there tonight.
Yeah, the pitching and the offense have been getting all the accolades in this good stretch, but the Brewers have been playing some pretty good defense, and that certainly helps the pitchers. There's the last 3 outings against the Cubs for Gallardo.
Swing and a miss. Gallardo strikes out Darwin Barney. 2 quick outs for Gallardo here in the first.
Well, coming right out of the bullpen, has good command of that fastball. Look at that, right on the black. And when he usually is spot on early, it usually is a good night for Yo.
Ron Renicky has his club 10 games up on the Cardinals. St. Louis lost earlier today to the Pirates as Ramirez fouls it back. Brewers just keep adding on to their division lead, and it has been a continuous theme here for Milwaukee. Matter of fact, they went off on the road trip. They were 6.5 ahead. They got back. They were 9.5 ahead after a 5-2 road trip. Ground ball out to short. Betancourt perfectly placed, and that is a terrific start for Gallardo. 3 up and 3 down. Hart, Morgan, and Braun coming up. Those two have teamed up to do some terrific work this year. The Brewers trying to keep it going as they've won 25 of their last 30 ball games. Corey Hart leads off for Renicky again tonight. Nigel Morgan in the 2-hole. Ryan Braun batting third. Prince Fielder, Casey McGee, Yuniesky Betancourt, and then it's Jerry Hairston, Jonathan Lucroy, and Giovanni Gallardo rounding it out.
Well, Ryan Dempster, the starting pitcher for Chicago tonight, brought to you by Lexus, having a pretty good season if you take away the month of April. April was a nightmare, an ERA around 10, but since that time he has been very good. 15-4 and a .256 earned run average career against Milwaukee.
Corey Hart leads off for the Brew Crew. .274 hitter coming in. Has 19 home runs this season, 46 runs batted in. Corey scored 2 runs yesterday and reached base 3 times. He was 2 for 4 at the plate with a walk. Scored twice, stole a base. Continues to thrive in that leadoff spot for the Brewers. A little flare in foul territory. This is Pena, and just out of his reach. Check the rest of that Cubs defense. They've committed the most errors in the National League this year. Defense brought to you by Menard, Soriano, Bird, and Colvin. Ramirez, Castro, Barney, and Pena around the horn, with Giovanni Soto doing the catching.
Pretty much tells a story about the Cubs season. Pitching has not been very good. The defense has been terrible. And it's not just the National League. They lead all of baseball in errors this year.
Starlin Castro is their star defensively. Barney's probably the most consistent defender they have. And you figure with Ramirez and Pena on the corners, they shouldn't be this bad defensively. But it's been that kind of year for the Chicago Cubs. There's a lot of talent out there, especially in the infield defensively.
That's a pretty good starting lineup when you look at their offense. Offense hasn't been the problem. Just haven't been able to get many teams out. Giving up a lot of runs.
Hard into center field, pretty well hit. Back is Marlon Byrd. That's over his head. Off the base of the wall, and Corey Hart starts it with a double.
Yeah, there's a good approach for Corey Hart. A breaking ball. The slider is the pitch that has given the Brewers fits over the years with Ryan Dempster. And there's one right there that stayed in the middle part of the plate, up in the zone, and a nice short stroke by Corey, able to get it over the head of Marlon Byrd in center field. Great start to the night from Milwaukee.
Double number 17 for Hart to go along with his 19 home runs. And here is Nigel Morgan. Morgan unable to get a bunt down yesterday, and that frustrated him. The Brewers were able to cash in anyway as Morgan reached on an error. Twice he dropped bunts down, one of them for a sacrifice. That's part of his game, though, and Niger knows this is the perfect spot for him to advance Corey Hart, whether it be a bunt or a ground ball to the right side. And that's why you see that kind of swing from Nigel Morgan.
They're trying to hit a ground ball to the right side to get Corey over to third base for Ryan and Prince. And why not? You saw the numbers that we posted on our open tonight. What Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder have done here this year at Miller Park.
Morgan comes in batting .308. Has 3 homers, 31 driven in. 0 for 4 last night, although he did reach and score in last night's game. Kind of settling into an ideal number 2 hitter in this particular lineup. Morgan's probably your prototypical leadoff hitter in most lineups around the big leagues, but Ron Renicky loves to have that power threat, that extra base threat, the top spot of his batting order.
Yeah, the only thing he can't do in the 2 spot that he would be able to do leading off is steal bases. You don't want to be making outs on the bases in front of Ryan. Morgan hadn't run much.
There's Ricky Weeks on the comeback trail. Hopefully we'll see Ricky back in uniform in the month of September, maybe the 1st or 2nd week in September, which will give him 2 or 3 weeks of big league play before the Brewers head to the postseason, hopefully. Carlos Gomez did go out on a minor league rehabilitation assignment tonight, playing for Appleton tonight. So Gomez will probably be back against the Cardinals as early as next week.
He's been looking good, running around the bases, taking swings. Throwing the baseball doesn't seem to be much of a problem for Gogo. It'd be good to have him back in center field as a defensive replacement. You give him a start against left-handed pitching.
Morgan figures to get a lot of playing time this weekend. You've got a right-handed starter tomorrow in Casey Coleman. 2 right-handed starters scheduled in the Cardinal series as Morgan strikes out, unable to advance Corey Hart. So the first strikeout for Dempster, first out.
Yeah, here it is, hit it right on the outside corner. A fastball by Dempster, who very much like Giovanni Gallardo has pretty good command with a fastball here in the first inning.
Well, Ryan Braun with 25 homers, 86 driven in. He is inching his way closer to Jose Reyes for the National League batting title. Jose Reyes leads the National League with a .336 average. After Braun's night last night, where he collected 2 hits and 2 walks, a .333 hitter to start play today. He's just 3 percentage points behind Reyes. And that flawless swing of his that is so repeatable. And he rips one to left field. Soriano will watch this one go over his head. Hart's going to score easily, and Ryan Braun is on some kind of tear. Another double. And he puts the Brewers on the board here in the first inning.
High fastball, 91 miles an hour, and able to tomahawk it and hit a rope off the left field fence. Oh, that ball he hit yesterday to right. Hit every bit as hard as this one, but got one to pull and smokes it over the head of Alfonso Soriano, and Corey Hart able to score easily. So the Brewers on the board first here tonight. Some kind of hitter. Wow.
Braun went 0 for 4 against the Pirates in the second game of a doubleheader on Monday. Since that time, in 4 games, he has collected 7 hits, including this double here. Braun with his 34th double of the season. He's 2 doubles off the National League lead, which is held by Justin Upton. Ryan is 3rd in the league in doubles. Upton and Tulowitzki in front of him.
Yeah, Ryan Braun hitting at .361 here at Miller Park before that at bat.
Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun just huge numbers across the board, but especially in their home ballpark. I showed you that graphic when we hit the air today. Fielder, the big batting average, has home runs and RBIs that top any National League player in their home park.
And Fielder at .329 at Miller Park with 17 homers.
Fielder with 28 home runs for the season. He is the major league leader in runs batted in with 101. And with runners in scoring position this year, he's hitting for a .333 average.
And a lot of his damage comes to left field, just like it did last night, driving in the run with a man at second. Line drive into left field, using the whole field. That's why he's been able to keep that batting average around 300.
Fielder at .329 at Miller Park. 17 of his 28 home runs coming here. Had a big RBI last night, stretched it into a 3-run lead. It was a 7th inning ribby for Fielder. That one's pulled down the line. Will it stay fair? Nope, that's a foul ball.
How about that adjustment in the middle of a swing? That strikes out a lot of hitters in baseball. Oh, that slider from Dempster. And check out Prince Fielder. Watch his pitch. And you talk about being able to go down and get one, pick one off the ground. and nearly doubled down the line.
There's a lot of things you can say about Fielder, a lot of skills he possesses, but his hand-eye coordination is amazing. It's the fact that every major league hitter is, but even compared to other major league hitters. Fielder fouls that one back. I think back to the base hit against the Mets in New York. One of his better at-bats of the season when he was able to tie a game and went down to hit one off the dirt, it seemed like. And he's not normally a bad ball type hitter. He usually
swings at strikes.
Has good strike zone discipline.
And it's not just hand-eye coordination either, because every player in the big leagues has it, or they wouldn't be able to get to the major leagues. They say that very good hitters, guys like Braun and Fielder, slow things down quite a bit. It seems as though the ball gets to them and they react to the baseball as if it's coming in slower than it comes into most hitters. They're relaxed, they keep their heads still, and it appears to be coming in a lot slower, and that's why they're able to hit like they do.
And unlike a lot of big sluggers, home run hitters, Fielder can do what he's doing now, maybe more than any other power hitter in the big leagues. He can stand up there, he can foul pitches off, make the pitcher work, wait for his pitch. A lot of power hitters in the big leagues. They're also big strikeout hitters as well. They strike out a lot.
And taking nothing away from Aramis Ramirez, I think, as much of a home run hitter and run producer as he has been throughout his career, he's a guy that just goes up there and hacks. I mean, he'll swing at pitches over his head. He doesn't walk much. Still is able to put up the numbers that he does, around 300, 30 homers, 100 RBIs. Great hitter, but not much discipline at the plate.
Another 1-2 pitch all the way from Dempster. And Fielder strikes out Dempster. Punches out the big man. Second strikeout for Dempster. 2 gone with Braun out at second base.
Yeah, same pitch that he was able to get Niger on, that fastball right on the outside corner. It happens to the best of them. That's the only 84th strikeout for Prince this year to go against 87 walks. So more walks than strikeouts for a power hitter.
Don't see that very often. One of the few hitters in the game has more walks than Ks, but Dempster punches his ticket in the first, and now it's Casey McGee with a runner at second. And McGee on the first pitch into left field. Did he get it? Soriano is back at the wall, and that ball's gone. Casey McGee with a 2-run home run. Three to nothing Brewers as the Cub killer Casey McGee strikes again.
And not waiting around. He attacked early and he got out in front of one, lifted it in the air, and then the Miller Park did the rest. A little bit out in front off the end, but Casey's still strong enough to be able to get it over that wall and left. A big first inning against Dempster again for the Brewers.
Just had enough to get it over the fence. Number 11 for McGee. Now 63 runs batted in. And on a day when the hot hitting AAA third baseman Taylor Green arrives to the big leagues, Casey McGee delivers with a big home run early. Casey has done some of his best work in his career against his former club.
Yep, the team that cut him loose.
Betancourt, a shot into left. Soriano is there. And the side is retired. What an inning to get started tonight. The Brewers have given Gallardo a 3-run lead early. And McGee with a 2-run homer with 2 outs to cap it off. On a beautiful Saturday, the Brewers on top early. 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. And now Yovani Gallardo back on the mound after a 3-up, 3-down first. Rock, take you back to his last start, which was a win against the New York Mets.
Yeah, 7 innings. He gave up only 2 earned runs, 6 base hits, and he was about as efficient as he's been. 97 pitches is all it took to get through 7 innings. And Yovani was on the top of his game. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. And when you look at his August numbers, he's made 4 starts. Before tonight, he's got a combined 4 walks. So he has been throwing a lot of strikes, and good ones at that.
And symbolic of the story for the starting pitchers this year, they have limited the walk totals a great deal compared to last year. You got 2 new starters in that rotation, and Zach Greinke and Sean Markham, a couple of guys who don't walk many. But under Rick Kranitz, that has been a point of emphasis. And it's easy to say. Philosophically, it's simple to throw strikes, work ahead in the count. It's a different story to actually pull off at the big league level.
Yeah, with big league hitters up there, the Brewers pitching staff has walked the 2nd fewest batters of any team in the National League.
Quickly 0-2 on Pena. He drops a bunt down. Gallardo makes a nice play, throw to first, and fielder cannot pick it out of the dirt.
How about that, a 0-2 bunt?
Very surprising from Pena.
Yeah, power hitter. You'll take that any day. He was able to get there, but wasn't able to get much on the throw. Well, probably go down as a base hit. We'll see. I'm not sure. That was a play that Yovani was able to get there, but wasn't able to get off a very good throw.
It's going to go as an error on Gallardo officially. E1. Brewers committed an error on the mound yesterday. Randy Wolf. Here is Tyler Colvin now. Colvin made a pinch hit appearance last night. Had to come off the bench to face Randy Wolf, a left-handed pitcher, and Randy Wolf got him to ground out. Colvin's only appearance in the game last night. Well, you know, official scores have that unwritten code, I guess. The first hit has to be a clean one.
Most places.
In most places, with the exception of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, PNC Park. But most places, that is the case.
We just can't get over that, can we?
And there's a base hit into the gap. Over to cut it off is Braun. And he will hold Pena to second base. Good play by Braun. So the Cubs putting up a threat here in the second.
Hey, go to Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the Instant 4-pack. Buy 2 Terrace Reserve seats, get 2 free. Offer good for select games with your Instant 4-pack coupon, only from Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Two on to start the second inning, and it's Marlon Byrd. Bird's typically a guy you'd see at the top of the batting order. First 3 hitters usually. He's been a 3-hole hitter in his career when he was with the Rangers and the Chicago Cubs, but he had a tough injury earlier this season. He was hit by a pitch in Boston in May, which is why he wears that protective face guard.
And you got Byrd and Soriano down in the bottom half of the batting order. As we talked about, I mean, this is a pretty formidable lineup. I mean, when you look at it on paper, you write it in your scorebook. You say this is a team that can score some runs, and they have this year. You know, their offense has been pretty good. You know, batting average, runs scored. Offense is not why the Cubs are where they're at in the standings.
What's interesting about the Cubs offensively, and it probably points to the lack of productive hitting with runners in scoring position, but this is a team that is 4th in the league in batting average. They have the 3rd most hits in the National League, and yet they are 9th in the league, in the bottom half of the league in runs scored. Byrd swings and misses. Gallardo with a good curveball strikes him out.
And that's what he's been doing. He's been establishing fastball, getting ahead in the count with the fastball, and then putting hitters away with the curveball. As opposed to at sometimes last year, and there was a stretch this year, he was throwing a lot of curveballs early in the count and falling behind. He hasn't been doing much of that lately.
Alfonso Soriano with one away. And a swing and a miss. Good breaking ball from Gallardo again. Soriano career against Gallardo is 2 for 14. And with 6 strikeouts in those 14 at bats. Have Giovanni Soto due up next. Another breaking ball, and that's going to sneak through a base hit. Pena around third, he'll score. And the Cubs are on the board here in the second inning. Soriano finds a hole between third and short. And it's an RBI single.
Yeah, pretty good pitch by Gallardo, but Soriano uses that long bat. He's right on top of the plate and he's able to hook it. And couldn't have rolled it any better between McGee and Betancourt. You see that cut fastball in the outside corner, and Soriano able to get out in front of it and pull it into left field.
So Soriano drives in number 62 of the year. 3-1 Brewers lead it. 2 on with Soto at the plate. Soto hitting .232. Does have 13 home runs this season for the Cubs. 40 driven in. Has not been able to repeat the numbers of his rookie season, when he won the Rookie of the Year in 2008. Ryan Braun won the Rookie of the Year in 07. Soto the next year.
And the year the Cubs made the playoffs, and Soto a big part of that success with the pitching staff, and unusual for a rookie catcher to be able to do that and back it up with the bat.
Soto always hit for a high average in the minor leagues. Came to the big leagues in his first full season in the major leagues, hit .285, had 23 homers and 86 RBIs to win Rookie of the Year, and actually won that award over Joey Votto and Jay Bruce, who were breaking in with the Reds at the time in 08. On the corner, a strike, 3-2. Gallardo gets himself back in the count.
Pretty good speed on the bases for the Cubs. Let's see if Mike Quade elects to send the runners on this 3-2 pitch. Colvin runs well. Soriano not bad either.
Runner stayed put, and a swing and a miss. Gallardo strikes out Soto. Yeah, that curveball might have been planted in Mike Quade's mind as he picks up another strikeout with it.
Yeah, there's that cut fastball, and he takes a little bit off of it at 89 to 90 miles an hour and just makes a turn as it gets to home plate, and Soto out in front.
So Giovanni with 3 strikeouts now. And now facing the pitcher, Ryan Dempster, at the plate.
Gallardo came all the way back from down 3-0 in the count to Giovanni Soto, and able to get him. Curveball at 81, fastball as high as 94.
Gallardo has had an extra day of rest with the off day Thursday. Pitching on the 6th day. One of the reasons Ron Renicky and Rick Kranitz wanting to put Chris Narveson in the bullpen, and he is available in the bullpen tonight, is because of the off day, and instead of everybody having to back up 1 or 2 days, Narveson is the one who goes out. So it's a 4-man rotation right now as Dempster strikes out. Gallardo strikes out the side, gives up a run. 3-1 Brewers. Second inning, and the Brewers coming up, and we take you back a month and a day, July 26 against Ryan Dempster. Cubs had an early lead. The Brewers were able to come back. A broken bat, extra base hit for Braun, and then a big hit by Casey McGee, his first triple of the year. And Rock, who knew what would happen after this win? I think it was a big monkey off the back to beat Dempster, who had been so tough on the Brewers. But I don't think anybody could have imagined 25 out of the next 30.
And they just keep rolling and playing good baseball. But it all comes down to pitching. You beat Ryan Dempster, scored only 3 runs early, and the pitching is able to hold up. And, you know, the batting average has been incredible. 282 batting average in this stretch. The Brewers hitting 280 as a team at home, but look at the earned run average. That's the big thing. A 262 team earned run average. We talk about the starters all the time, but that includes that bullpen. And with the acquisition of K-Rod, it's really smoothed things out there for Ron Renneke.
This is a ball club that went during that stretch in 1 month, went from a hot team to a good team to now the discussion about, is this a great team? And we won't find that out.
Well, right now it's a good hot team.
A good hot potentially
team.
Great team.
Yeah, we'll see.
Jerry Hairston Jr. leads off for the Brew Crew. Bottom 3 coming up: Hairston, Lucroy, and Gallardo. Against Ryan Dempster, the Brewers put 3 on the board in the first inning. That doubles from Hart and Braun, and then a 2-run homer from Casey McGee in the first. Hairston getting most of the reps at second base these days. Brewers designating Felipe Lopez for assignment after Hairston basically took over the job, as we await the return of Ricky Weeks. Weeks took another session of batting practice today on the field. Looked very impressive. He's trying to get the ankle. He rolled his ankle against the Cubs a month ago. That was the day after the Brewers beat Dempster. Rolled his ankle and stretched out a couple of ligaments in that left ankle.
It can't be too many positions tougher on an ankle than second base, with the way they have to move, turn a double play, and that right now is the issue for Ricky. He can swing the bat pretty well. Running straight down the line is okay. He's not 100%, but what you have to do around second base is something he's having a tough time with.
Hairston draws the walk, and the Brewers with a base runner to start the second inning. So mark September 19th on your schedule right now. That's the day Third Rock from the Sun and The Big Bang Theory come to WMLW. A full hour of each every weekday. Third Rock from the Sun from 5 to 6, and The Big Bang Theory from 6 to 7 starting September 19th here on WMLW. A runner on for Jonathan Lucroy. Dempster has given up 3 hits and a walk so far. Dempster had a couple of strikeouts in the first, as Lucroy takes a strike.
Yeah, don't let that 4.66 earned run average fool you with Ryan Dempster. A lot of that damage came in the month of April. I mean, check this out. He gave up 33 of his 82 earned runs in April. Since that time, he's been pretty good, including his last 6 starts.
Dempster is a free agent at season's end, but he has the option. It's a player option for 2012, and that is a $14 million option. And Dempster, who lives in Chicago full time now, says he can think of 14 million reasons why he's going to pick up that option. And probably see him in a Cubs uniform again next year.
Absolutely.
Dempster has been adding that he'd like to sign a multi-year contract with the Cubs. He'd like to finish his career in a Cubs uniform. He's only 34 years of age. He's done a lot in this game. He's been a starting pitcher originally, went into the bullpen as a closer, back into the starting rotation.
Yeah, this is Dempster's 47th game against Milwaukee.
Got a chance for 2 here. Castro to second, and the turn by Barney, not in time. Lucroy beats it down the line. Cubs get it out at second base. 1 gone with a runner at first for Gallardo.
Yeah, just not hit hard enough. Lucroy got jammed a little bit, but not able to turn the double play. See Jonathan upset with himself. Thought he had a pitch to hit. That's the thing Dempster will do to you. He's one of those guys that you're up there and the ball's moving just a little bit either way. He'll cut it, he'll sink it, and sometimes you think it's a good pitch right until the time you make contact.
It's been incredibly durable since getting back into the starting rotation full time in 08. He was a reliever in 07. Gallardo's had a good year at the plate this year for the Brewers with 12 hits. Has a home run. Renick's going to ask him to bunt the runner over, and he gets a bunt down. Only play is first. 2 gone in the inning. Gallardo, the Texan. Speaking of Texans, we're going to have a chat with the Brewers' first-round draft pick, the first pick overall. Taylor Youngman is here at the ballpark today at his press conference before the ball game. All buttoned up in a coat, looking good.
Yeah, why not? He is a big boy. Texan, you guys are from pretty much the same hometown. Yeah, what happened over there?
I don't know.
You didn't get that tall gene.
No, they changed the water after I left. Yeah, Taylor's from my hometown where I grew up, Georgetown, Texas. They're starting to filter their way in, Rock. We got the Gallardo
taking over.
Can't have enough. But we're going to talk to Taylor next half inning. Well, you'll want to hear from the Brewers' first pick. Had a decorated career at the University of Texas, and now he'll get paid to pitch. Ball and a strike on Corey Hart. Doubled and scored his last time up in the first.
Yeah, got a slider out over the plate and hammered it into center field. That last pitch was a pretty good pitch to hit. Fouled it straight back. Fastball down the middle.
Lucroy out at second. And Hart rips one to center. That ball's well hit and over the head of Bird. That'll go to the wall. Lucroy will score. Hart thinking about third. He's on his way. And the throw is late. A triple for Corey Hart. Lucroy scores. And it's 4-1 Milwaukee.
I'm not sure where Marlon Bird was playing. I mean, Corey hit one over his head his first time up. I think that ball landed short of the warning track. There's that slider again. It hung up there for Corey just like his first time up. And Bird playing relatively shallow. Watch where this ball bounces. I mean, ordinarily a big league center fielder is going to make that catch. And Bird playing shallow, got a bad jump on it, and a 2-out double, triple for Corey Hart to score another run.
Hart's third triple of the year. And all of a sudden you start bringing the cycle opportunity in focus for Hart. He has got the double and the triple taken care of. Single and a homer away, and a lot of ball game left.
Got the tough one done, right, for Corey. Triple's usually the one that they can't get.
Nigel Morgan takes a strike. Corey checking his pulse over there. Always want to know where your heartbeat stands after a triple. Tells you what kind of shape you're in, I guess.
Make sure you have one.
Now Morgan struck out in the first. Dempster with 2 strikeouts in the first inning. But the Brewers 4 runs already on 4 hits. 3 of the 4 runs coming with 2 outs in the first 2 innings. I was talking to Mark Kotze about Ryan Dempster and his success against left-handed hitters. He can put a left-handed hitter in a prolonged slump. He's got a good fastball that rides. That's the pitch he struck out Morgan on in the first inning. That splitter is A tough pitch for a lefty to not only pick up, but to even put a bat on.
Yeah, that split-fingered fastball is an equalizer to both right-handers and left-handers. And although he will throw sliders to lefties, he'll throw a lot more splitters to lefties than right-handers. He's not throwing as many split-fingered fastballs nowadays as he did when he was younger. That's a pitch that's relatively tough on the arm.
Always keeps the baseball in that split finger grip before he starts. And the 2-2 to Morgan is outside, ball 3. So being down 0-2, he has worked it full now. This is a spot where you figure Morgan will get a good pitch to handle. Got Ryan Braun coming up next. That's why the 2 spot in a major league lineup is usually the sweet spot. A lot of great hitters in that 3-hole, forcing hittable pitches from the 2-hole as Morgan gets on one. Left center field. Marlon Byrd is on the run. He'll run it down for the out. Side retired. Morgan gave it a ride, but the inning ends. Brewers get one, though. They add to it. 4-1 our score, and when we come back, we'll hear from the Brewers' #1 pick. Ball on WMLW is presented by Usingers. Usingers in baseball, it's just not summer without them. And by Steinhoffels, Wisconsin's #1 furniture and mattress store since 1934. And we welcome you back from beautiful Miller Park on a Saturday night. Giovanni Gallardo, Texan on the mound. He's out of the Fort Worth area, and we've got a Texan here in the booth from Central Texas, from my hometown, Georgetown, Texas. Taylor Youngman, welcome to the Milwaukee Brewer family. Congratulations.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
First pick overall to draft for the Brewers, and took that contract right up to the bitter end. I know that it must have been nerve-wracking for you trying to get that contract signed, but it is signed. And what's it feel like to be a professional baseball player now?
I mean, it really set in when I put that hat on and put the jersey on in the press conference. But I mean, it feels great being here at this beautiful ballpark.
Starlin Castro, a little bouncing ball out to Jerry Hairston, and there's one away.
As Brian was saying, it went right down to the wire. What, 10 minutes, up right to the deadline? I mean, was there any doubt in your mind that you were going to end up signing, or was it really a little hairy at the end there?
I don't think so. I knew what I wanted to do. In the end, it was going to happen, and I wanted to be a Milwaukee Brewer. So I mean, there was never any doubt in my mind. Now it was a little nerve-wracking for the family, but I thought the whole time that I was going to be a Milwaukee Brewer.
Got to meet your family today, and looks like a great family. I know they're proud of you. You had a great career at the University of Texas. And what will the plan be for you, you think, at this point? Are you going to pitch professionally prior to spring training of next year? Do you think you'll be headed to the Instructional League?
The instructional league is the plan right now. Other than that, that's about all I know.
Just do what you're told, right?
Exactly.
But you kind of racked up the innings in college this year,
right?
The regionals and all that, right?
Right. I had about 140 innings, so I took it easy during the summer, and I'm trying to get my arm back in shape right now.
What kind of pitcher are you? Explain Taylor Youngman as a pitcher. What kind of pitcher can we expect here in Milwaukee in a few years?
I think I'm somebody who's going to go right after you with a two-seam fastball, try to mix in curve, slider, and a changeup. Really what I need to work on is the curve and changeup, being more consistent with it, but I consider myself a ground ball pitcher.
Now this is the National League. Can you swing the bat a little bit?
We'll find out.
We'll take that as a no for now.
It's a work in progress,
too,
right?
It's a work in progress. We'll say that.
You'll get your chance to hit when you get to Double-A. Gallardo strikes out Darwin Barney, and Giovanni now with 5 strikeouts. It's got to be a bit inspirational to watch a guy like Giovanni Gallardo pitch, a Texan like yourself, and at such a very young age, making quite an impact on the game.
Right. I mean, it's like you said, it's fun to watch somebody from Texas, and obviously right now he's doing well, and it's just fun to watch guys like that.
Visiting with Taylor Youngman, Brewers' first overall pick in the draft, as Arolis Ramirez singles to center field. And a base hit for the Cubs. Now, you had a great career at the University of Texas, and I know the innings were up there. You played for Augie Garrido. You had a lot of awards. You won a lot of awards. You were the top dog at the University of Texas. You've been an ace before, but how does that translate to the program in your mind? I know you haven't pitched yet, but I know you have a pretty good network of people you rely on.
I mean, there's a huge difference between Major League Baseball and college baseball, so I don't know where to draw the line in comparing that, but I think the University of Texas has prepared me about as much as possible. I think I'm ready to get started, and see what happens from there.
One thing you're going to enjoy is facing wooden bats. Those
That'll be
aluminum
fun.
bats. Yeah, you can make some mistakes as a hitter with aluminum bat, not with wood.
Right. See, since I've been at Texas, I never played any summer ball, so I haven't got to throw against a whole lot of wood bats. So that'll be interesting.
You'll like that. They break.
Very satisfying to break a wood bat, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Carlos Pena for the Cubs.
And I've been hearing you and Brian talk, hometown. I mean, I've been hearing about this fight song that you guys know. Can we
Eagle fight never dies.
get
Rob.
a few bars
That's all you
here?
need to know.
That's all you need to know. I'm not in the circle.
Eagle fight never dies.
As a matter of fact, Taylor, he finally broke my brother's single season strikeout record. My brother Mike, as that one has hit a ton in the right, but too high. Corey Hart is under it, and the side retired. More with Taylor Youngman when we continue. The Brewers 4-1 over the Chicago Cubs. And we are visiting with Taylor Youngman, the Brewers' first pick. It wasn't too long ago Ryan Braun was sitting in that seat after the 05 draft, and now Taylor ready to get his pro career started. And it's great to have you with us. Great to see you in a Brewers uniform for the first time. What do you know about Milwaukee? What do you know about the Brewers? Give us an update on your little skull session here about this franchise lately.
Well, before I was drafted by the Brewers, I had never been to Milwaukee, so my first time in Milwaukee was to get my physical done, which was obviously before the deadline, and now I'm back for my second chance to see the city. And I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot, so I mean, you could probably tell me more than I've seen.
I'll sit down with you a little later. We'll have a good chat.
You cannot ask for a better scene set, more excitement in the ballpark here at Miller Park. A pennant race. The Brewers right now with a 10-game lead. What are your thoughts on that? Coming in and seeing all this.
Right, before I was drafted by the Brewers, I hadn't paid a whole lot of attention to them, to be honest. But they've been on fire lately, and I've been keeping up with it, and my dad's been keeping up with it. So I mean, it's been fun watching them.
We know you'll dive in not only to the Brewers but the Packers as well. And one of our homeboys, Rock, is with the Packers. Mason Crosby hit the game winner yesterday,
right,
in the exhibition game. Mason Crosby's from our hometown.
It's all about the Texas guys. Have you noticed this? It's not just when you're here, you know.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's all constant.
They're very welcoming here. And it's not quite as hot. Wintertime, a little bit different. You gotta brace down, but the summertime is beautiful. Taylor Youngman is with us, Brewers' first pick overall. You've got your family here, I know. And I believe it was your sister. Your sister is with you, and
her husband.
Her husband. And what's that experience been like for them to see you on the stage and your press conference? You had to actually answer questions from Tom Hodgecourt today, which is never an easy thing.
Right. I mean, it was fun for them. I know that. I think they were more interested in taking pictures after, but I mean, they couldn't stop smiling, so it's pretty fun for them.
Ryan Braun into right center field. Bird going back near the wall, leaps, and he makes the catch. Marlon Bird pulls one back. What a play by the Cubs center fielder.
Yeah, timed that beautifully, and that kind of is why it was surprising that ball that Corey hit last inning dropped in center field. I mean, Bird really covers a lot of ground out there. I don't think Ryan thought he got this baseball. He thought maybe it might sneak over the wall, but when he gets it all, I mean, no ballpark's going to hold it, and Marlon Bird able to make a nice leaping catch. Probably wouldn't have been a home run, but well done out there in center field.
Now Fielder into right center. This is way back. How far will it fly? Prince Fielder off the beam. Number 29 for Fielder. And the Brewers tack one more on. It's 5-1 Brew Crew.
Oh, the big man's something else. He just continues to impress. Ryan Braun narrowly misses a home run, and Prince Fielder says, you know what, nobody's going to catch this without buying a ticket. That was a slider that hung up there. Now, Taylor, you're not going to throw any of those hangers, right?
Let's hope not.
Big league hitters can wall them a pretty good distance, and Prince Fielder, not too many better at doing that than he is.
29 homers, 102 runs batted in. We have not even hit the month of September yet. Having an MVP season, Fielder. And it's 5-1 Brew Crew here in the third inning. And we just had that sound high off the beam that supports the scoreboard.
Incredible power.
So, Taylor, you're witnessing all of this big league atmosphere, and I would imagine it's going to be, I don't know if it'll be tough because you're entering the pro ranks, as McGee whistles one to left. And a base hit for the Brewers. McGee is 2 for 2 against Dempster.
It certainly gives you an incentive to work hard down in the minor leagues.
Right.
This is the spot to be.
That's the ultimate goal.
Tell us about, you know, your upbringing I know you didn't grow up in Georgetown. You grew up in Temple, which is just outside Georgetown. But did you play other sports? Has it always been baseball?
I played a lot of basketball. Basketball was my my love in high school. I gave it up, obviously, to play baseball. I mean, basketball was the main sport other than baseball.
You know, starting pitchers who play basketball, it doesn't go well here in Milwaukee these days. Looked like a botched hit and run as McGee is now cut down between first and second. And perhaps a missed sign. Second out of the inning.
Yeah, Casey McGee is not going to be stealing too many bases, and either Casey missed a sign or Betancourt missed the hit and run sign. But regardless, didn't work.
You know about Zach Greinke, right?
I have heard the story. I just heard it about an hour ago. I have given it up.
No basketball for Taylor Youngman.
Completely.
Betancourt pops up to end the inning. Taylor, it's great to meet you, man. We wish you the best of luck. Hope to see you in a Brewers uniform real soon.
Good luck.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
That is Taylor Youngman. And as he watches Frank's fielder go deep 5-1 Milwaukee.
As we head to the fourth inning, and Brewers fans, don't miss the Miller Lite Beer Pen every Friday night home game at Miller Park. Fans 21 and older can get a Miller Lite Beer Pen right field Lowe's bleacher ticket and a free Beer Pen t-shirt for only $20. Some restrictions apply.
So here we go to the fourth inning, and Tyler Colvin will lead off against Gallardo. A nice visit with Taylor Youngman. I'm glad that he signed. I'm glad he is in the system. You always worry about the first round draft picks. That is a big process. We tip our hat to Bruce Side. You know, it took a lot to get those two guys signed in the first round, and the Brewers spent a little over $8 million with their draft pick. So they have made a strong commitment to the minor league system, and it is a system that continues to need replenishing after a busy offseason of trades.
Looks like a good young man. He came here to Miller Park in a nice blazer, looking like a professional. It was nice. I appreciate you allowing me to be in the middle of that Texas Love Fest. That was quite enjoyable.
I wanted to make him feel comfortable.
Good kid.
I tell you, it is major news back home. Not only to have a first round draft pick, you know, that's major news.
Right.
This it's a town that has never really
anywhere
had that kind of player. I mean, Mason Crosby is probably one of the most famous sports athletes from that town, from this small town. And boy, it's a great thrill to finally meet him. And it's a little town. It's just a town of about 15,000.
Right.
You know, one high school town. Marlon Byrd, a base hit to right. So the Cubs with a base runner with 1 out here in the 4th. And that leads us to our trivia tonight, brought to you by Subway. Name the 4 Brewers who have finished 2nd in the batting average race. Never been a batting champion in a Milwaukee Brewers uniform. There have been a couple of close calls, some runner-up finishes. So there have been 4 to finish 2nd.
Well, one thing's for sure, that Jose Reyes is going to have to get back off the disabled list and start playing, because he's not going to qualify. And when he does come back, it's going to take him a while to get going. You figure he's not going to be able to maintain that high batting average. But you never know. I think the best chance for Ryan, if he stays healthy, if he stays hot, is Reyes coming off, and the batting average of Reyes dropping a little bit. I mean, 336 for Reyes. Ryan Braun as high as 333.
Well, you need 501 plate appearances to qualify. Reyes right now is at 460, I believe. He's 40 plate appearances shy. And Soriano lifts one in the air to right, playable for Corey Hart. And there is out number 2 for Gallardo.
Yeah, he just can't come off the disabled list for as long as Reyes has been on and just start raking. Start picking up right where you left off. That very rarely happens. It's going to take him a while to settle in.
And you wonder how his legs will be when he comes back. Reyes has been on the disabled list with a hamstring injury. And that's one of the reasons Reyes is able to pursue a batting title, because of his great speed. A lot of infield hits, much like Ryan Braun. Two outs for Soto. Takes a strike. If you're thinking big picture and you're looking at the seasons that Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder are having, I think it is an obvious question: will those two take votes away from each other in the MVP voting? It's not something you bring up with these two players, but for us as broadcasters and in the media, you know, you're looking at historical numbers for both of them. And if Braun wins a batting title, does that tilt it in his favor? You know, there's a lot of questions there.
Yeah, who's the MVP for the Brewers? Not just the National League, right?
It's a tough call.
It is. It really is tough. I mean, they both deserve it. There have been co-MVPs, and Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder certainly making a case for that. As the Brewers would not be in the position they're in without either one of them. When you take one of them out, it would be tough for the Brewers to be 10 games up.
Bouncing ball right side. Hairston knocks it down. Throw to first in time. What a play on both ends. Jerry Hairston, Prince Fielder. Legacies on display here in Milwaukee. Terrific play to end the inning. delivers the first blow. He drives in a run with a double, and then Casey McGee in the first inning with a 2-run homer. A wall scraper in left made it 3-0. Corey Hart added to it. Hart with an RBI double with 2 outs, or rather an RBI triple, and then Fielder launches one deep right center off the support beam out there. Fielder's 29th home run, 102nd run batted in. 5-1 Brewers as we head to the bottom of the 4th. A lot of offense early for Milwaukee. They have 5 runs on 6 hits against Dempster. And now Hairston whistles one right center. That's way back, and that's down for a hit. That'll be a ground rule double for Jerry Hairston. After making a great play defensively, Hairston comes up with a leadoff double.
And not waiting around. He jumped on the first pitch. That looked like a slider too. And Marlon Byrd's been getting his sprints in here tonight. He has turned his back and gone to that wall a number of times already. We're only in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the Brewers have done as much damage against Dempster as they've done in a number of starts. Able to take that one right back into center field. One hops out of here, and Bird just not able to get there that time.
You think about Dempster, you go back 60 innings against the Milwaukee Brewers. 60 innings, he'd given up just 14 earned runs. He had a 2.10 earned run average in 9 starts that covered 60 innings. And he's given up 5 earned runs here tonight, and we're only in the bottom of the 4th. Just don't see this that often with the Brewers against Ryan Dempster. Dempster went 7 shutout against the Brewers at Wrigley Field on the 13th of June. Came back and pitched the game here at Miller Park on the 26th. 3 runs in 6 innings, took a loss that day. It's the only loss in his last 9 starts. Jonathan Lucroy reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run in the 2nd. Brewers have scored in every inning so far against Dempster. 3 in the 1st, solo tallies in the 2nd and the 3rd. And a swing and a miss. Lucroy down on strikes, unable to move the runner.
And there's that split-fingered fastball that you were talking about. It's got good depth to it. Looks like a fastball, but it just dives as it gets to home plate. Lucroy over the top of it. He hadn't thrown too many tonight, and that was a good one.
Now 1 out. Hairston out at second base for Gallardo. Bullpen activity. Ramon Ortiz loosening for the Cubs.
Dempster's spot leads off the 5th.
Looks like Gallardo up there to swing the bat with a runner at second. Good option to have at the plate for the Brewers. When Gallardo starts a game, he makes it more of an American League type lineup. He's certainly not a position player, but he is a good hitting pitcher.
Hey, he's dangerous. You make a mistake, he can hit it out of the ballpark.
Gallardo voted as the best hitting pitcher in the National League last year. He won the Silver Slugger Award last year. First time he's won that award. Has 9 career home runs. He already has the franchise record for home runs by a pitcher. Dropped down a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd inning, and that bunt would set up an RBI hit for Corey Hart. A 2-out triple in the 2nd. Bernie's ready just in case. And another pickoff attempt at second.
Yeah, Harrison
just back.
Yeah, he's got a big lead over there at second base, and Darwin Barney very close to the bag, so it doesn't take much for him to sneak over there. And that time Harrison just barely able to get back. And you get that throw a little bit more to the third base side, and he might be out.
That's a quick tag from Darwin Barney. The more you watch Darwin Barney play, the more you like him.
Yeah, he bounces around. He holds the runners on pretty well. He's got good range. They say he's a heck of a shortstop, but he's not going to have many opportunities over there.
That could be a terrific tandem at the Keystone for many years, Barney and Castro. Hairston takes off. Gallardo bounces one to short. And Castro throws him out. So Hairston was on the move. He saw something in Dempster's motion. Ends up at third base. 2 outs now. We go back to the top of the order.
Hey, place a down payment on your 2012 Brewers season tickets and guarantee your 2011 postseason Brewer ticket rights at Miller Park. Call 414-902-HITS or visit brewers.com.
Here's Corey Hart. Already a double and a triple here tonight. Hart drove in a 2-out run in the second inning and a big swing and a miss. Corey on a 10-game hitting streak now. During the streak, he has 15 hits and 41 at-bats. Includes a home run, 2 RBIs. Brewers have done a lot of winning with Hart in the leadoff spot. Now 30-9 with Hart hitting leadoff.
You know, and everybody up and down the Brewers batting order has been very good. Corey not so much stealing bases, but that power threat, driving in runs. And drive 47 RBIs for Hart because of the bottom of the order getting on base during this stretch.
Corey hitting .366 during the hitting streak, including his 2 hits tonight. He has twice hit one over the head of Marlon Byrd in center field in this game.
And Byrd playing very deep in center because of it.
So this is the spot where you dump one into center like a broken bat hit, right?
Well, last time up, there was a man at second base with 2 outs. Byrd was playing a little bit more shallow to maybe try and throw out a runner at home plate. Now with 2 outs and a man at third, you can move back a little bit and protect against the extra base hit. But you're right, there's a lot of room in front of him.
Challenge him with a fastball, and Hart lifts it in the air, foul. Count stays at 3-2. Going to be interesting to see what Renicky does with the batting order when Ricky Weeks returns. Casey McGee has started to settle back into that 5-hole a little bit, which is why Hart was put in the leadoff spot anyway. Renicky needed somebody to hit 5th, so he put Weeks in that spot. Good problems to have for the manager. And he'll have a week or two to think about it. Full count pitch. And Hart draws the walk. Good take. Dempster thought he had a fastball. He is not pleased with Tom Hallion.
And he's barking at the home plate umpire. The ball was right down the middle, but apparently a bit low. Tough pitch to take, but Corey got the call. And just barely low. This will be the telltale spot. It looked like low. I mean, barely low, but a good eye by Hart. Tough to take it.
Tom Hallion, the crew chief. Dempster still with pursed lips. He is not pleased. 2 outs. And here's Nyjer Morgan. It's going to be a short night for Ryan Dempster. Brewers have a chance to chase him here in the 4th inning. Bullpen activity working. There are 2 outs.
Well, his spot is due up to lead off in the 5th, so this is probably going to be it for him. Cubs are probably going to go to a pinch hitter and then go to the bullpen in the 5th.
Cardinals lost earlier today to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Brewers can stretch their division lead to 10.5 games with the victory tonight. Morgan hit one hard his last time up. He sent Marlon Byrd deep into the gap in left center. Byrd ran it down, made a nice catch to end the inning. Nyjer a strikeout victim in the 1st. So he's 0 for 2 against Dempster. And he pulls that one on the ground to Barney. And the side is retired. And that is the first scoreless inning that Dempster has posted tonight. 5-1 Brewers. For a chance to win fabulous prizes with Potawatomi Grand Slam Thursdays. Visit Brewers.com for details. Miller Park on a Saturday night. What a great night for baseball. The Brewers are keeping them smiling here at Miller Park. The best home record in all of baseball. Brewers are 48-16 here at home this year. Gallardo has gone through 4 innings, just 1 unearned run. It was his error that led to that unearned run. And Tony Campana pinch hitting on the first pitch, flies out to center field. 1 pitch, 1 out for Gallardo. So Gallardo will outlast Ryan Dempster tonight. Dempster goes just 4 innings 7 hits and 5 earned runs tonight.
And Brewers really putting together some pretty good at bats against Dempster, who really I don't think was able to locate his slider as he has throughout his career against Milwaukee. He left a few up in the strike zone. The Brewers took advantage of it. Corey Hart with a couple of doubles. Prince Fielder with a home run on a slider.
Cubs go back to the top of their order with Starlin Castro. Gallardo has racked up 6 strikeouts thus far. No walks. It's been a big part of the Gallardo story this season, and especially in the month of August, making his final August start of the year.
You know, just to back that up, the last time Yovani Gallardo has walked more than 1 in a game, and that was back on the 1st of July against Minnesota. That was at Target Field. He walked 4. It's either 1 walk or no walks. That's how you keep that pitch count down.
Well, Gallardo has walked 7 batters in his last 9 starts. Went all the way back to the 1st of July. Hasn't walked more than 4 in a single game this season. The Brewers opening day starter for the 2nd consecutive year.
And I think you can go back to his pitch selection early in the count. I mean, he's been establishing that fastball, throwing it for strikes, and saving that curveball for the put-away pitch, as opposed to trying to get ahead with it, because it's a tough pitch to throw for strikes. Throw over the plate for a called strike.
Bouncing ball in the hole, going to be a tough play. Betancourt, throw to first. Castro beats it out. The throw gets away from Fielder. Would have been close. Good effort by Uni. Castro runs well and legs it out. That'll be a base hit. That'll be an 11-game hitting streak for Starlin Castro.
Yeah, just able to lay the bat on it. Looked like a cut fastball or some type of a breaking ball that Castro hooks over into the hole between third and short. There's a cutter. And with Castro's real good speed, I mean, he gets down that line in great shape. Betancourt with a pretty good throw. And I think if Prince picks it, he's out.
Yeah, it looked like a throw Fielder could have handled. So a base runner with 1 away as Barney takes a strike. Barney with a couple of strikeouts against Gallardo. He has not seen him well tonight. Ryan Braun was talking about Gallardo's fastball and making the comment that you just don't see the ball as a hitter, apparently. You just don't pick up the fastball from Gallardo, especially the low fastball.
Right. He hides it well. Sneaky fast. Hey, guys that throw over the top and can keep that baseball behind their body until the last minute are the guys that are tough to pick up. Guys that are more 3/4, you see that baseball out there, and the earlier you can see the baseball, the better it is to read the pitch, determine what it is and whether you're going to swing or not.
Ground ball, got a chance here for 2. Flip to Betancourt, throw to first. In time, a double play for 6-3. And Gallardo is out of the 5th. Cubs get a 1-out single. And a double play wipes it clean. Hairston to Betancourt to Fielder. Inning over. Well, the Cubs already in their bullpen here. Ryan Dempster goes 4 innings, gives up 5 earned runs. And our Feltco call to the bullpen as Ramon Ortiz is on to work for the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, 13th appearance. Ortiz appeared in last night's ball game. Gave up a couple of hits, but did not allow a run. 592 earned run average. 2 of those 12 appearances were as a starter. Guy's been around.
Ryan Braun leads off. Braun, Fielder, and McGee due up in the Brewer 5th inning. It's been a good night offensively so far. 5 runs on 7 hits. Gallardo on his game on the mound. Has not allowed an earned run. The lone run the Cubs scored was in the 2nd. It was Gallardo's error in that inning that led to that run. Fielder hit a long home run in the 3rd. Braun had a double and an RBI in the 1st.
Ryan's just seeing the baseball so well right now. He's swinging at nothing but strikes, particularly early in the count. I mean, some pretty good off-speed pitches that he's taken that are out of the strike zone. There's that slider from Ortiz. He's basically a 2-pitch pitcher. When he was younger, he could throw in the mid-90s. 95 to 97 with that wicked slider. And he's been around a while, not the velocity that he used to have.
Braun rolls over, 1 out to short. Starlin Castro makes the play barely. And out number 1 here in the 5th. Hard Rock, our Subway trivia tonight named the 4 Brewers who have finished 2nd in the batting average race. Braun has a chance to win a batting title this year. You could always do good by guessing Cooper, Yount, or Molitor. George Scott is the other one.
Boomer.
1980 was the year Cecil Cooper finished 2nd. That was the year George Brett hit .390.
Yeah, I remember Robin Yount was a point behind Willie Wilson in '82. 1 point. Wade Boggs in '87. Molitor hitting .353 that year. And then in '73, former Brewer batting coach Rod Carew hit .350 to beat out George Scott at .306. A little bit of a difference there. I would imagine the Boomer didn't have too many infield hits.
That's right. That was a hard-earned .306 that year. Interesting that the 2nd highest batting average in the American League in '73 was .306.
Yeah.
This gives you an idea of how good Carew was, how good the pitching was. '73. Saw Robin Yount at the ballpark earlier today. He's here visiting Wisconsin. He was out at the cage. Remember, Robin was in uniform this spring. Ron Renicky invited him out to just be a part of the spring training day for the Brewers. He didn't have specific orders each day, but Renicky, one of the first calls he made when he got the job as manager was to Robin Yount. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Fielder into center field. That one slightly off the end of the bat. And Bird's there to make the catch.
Certain guys just have a presence when they show up. Dave Winfield was like that when he was a player. Robin Yount just in uniform, walking around and maybe saying a thing or two to an infielder or maybe a hitter. Has a big impact. And just a reminder for his players of good days in Milwaukee.
Casey McGee, 2 men out here in the 5th inning. It was interesting hearing Robin's perspective of the ball club. And we had a chance to put him on the air a couple of times during our spring training broadcast. And I think Ron Renicky, more than anything else, wanted that perspective. These players know Robin well. Robin was the bench coach for Dale Swaim in '08. At the finish line the last 12 games of the year and on into the postseason. So there's a lot of familiarity there. And he gave some interesting perspective on the team, the town, and what he saw in the Brewers manager and coaching staff. And I think knowing that Robin has that kind of relationship with the players, they're able to transfer what they want to the players. Not that Robin was the only guy who passed that information along, but it just helps to have a guy like Robin endorsing a new manager, and he did. As McGee is called out on strikes, 3 up and 3 down in the 5th. We go to the 6th at Miller Park. WMLW is presented by American TV, American Furniture, Electronics, and Appliances. Bring it home. And by the Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness. And this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers. WMLW. Great to have you with us tonight as the Brewers and the Cubs playing game 2 of this series. This will be the final series against the Cubs here at Miller Park this year. Brewers have a trip to Chicago remaining. Brewers had a sweep of the Cubs here at Miller Park earlier this season, and overall Milwaukee has won 7 of 11 from the Northsiders. Aramis Ramirez has a hit tonight. He extended his hitting streak to 16 games. He has probably seen the fewest pitches in a 16-game hitting streak in the history of baseball.
Surprised he took that last one. It was pretty close.
And a bouncing ball. Betancourt spins, fires in time. Beautiful play.
And nice play, spinning around and knowing exactly where first base is. And that's about as fast as you're going to see Aramis Ramirez get down the line at first.
So 1 gone for Gallardo. He's given up 5 hits tonight and 1 unearned run.
And the only time he's allowed a leadoff base runner was his error in the 2nd inning on that bunt by Carlos Pena. Other than that, he's been able to retire the first hitter. Always makes your job a bit easier.
A nice play by Betancourt. That error by Gallardo in the 2nd inning was on Carlos Pena, and he dropped down an 0-2 bunt. I'm not sure I've ever seen that from a slugger like this.
Yeah, the big shift was on, and he figured that you know, Casey McGee's not going to be able to get there, and because of that bunt, Casey is in more of a traditional spot at third base. But I don't think that Mike Quanti is real happy about Pena going up there to drop down bunts,
especially on an 0-2 pitch.
Right.
Pena almost hit one out in the 3rd. He just missed it. That one's a mile high. big league pop-up. Foul territory. McGee hauls it in for the second out.
Good thing Casey was there that time. Would have been a tough play for Jonathan. And I know Jonathan Lucroy very happy that Casey was able to make that catch. Jonathan doing a nice job calling the game for Yo tonight. Hasn't been too many shakeoffs, and they've been able to work the corners. It's a good first pitch curveball to Pena, who was swinging all the way. And this Cub club has been is a little bit different than the traditional clubs that we've seen over the years, working the count, being patient, getting pitch counts up. These guys go up there hacking.
Tyler Colvin is 1 out of 2 here tonight. He had the first Cubs hit in the second inning. Cubs had 2 on, nobody out in the second. Gallardo would give up an RBI single to Soriano, but he struck out the side in that second inning. And really the only threat the Cubs have posted tonight. And again, it started with an error by Gallardo. Giovanni with 6 strikeouts thus far. Bouncing ball foul. Say following the conclusion of tonight's game, stay tuned for the Sports Fanatics Final Out. This is your latest post-game look at the Milwaukee Brewers. Back on Fox Sports Wisconsin tomorrow. And there's a strike called outside corner. Gallardo punches Colvin's ticket. 3 up, 3 down innings, 7 Ks for Giovanni. And how would you like to win a Paul Molitor autographed baseball bat? Watch the Sports Fanatics every Sunday morning at 10:30 on CBS 58 to find out how. You have a Paul Molitor autographed baseball bat, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Nice.
In my memorabilia room back at the house.
You start to think about Molitor and Yount, and you look at Braun and Fielder and the kind of season they are having, the kind of career they've had together. You don't have the Hall of Fame perspective of Molitor and Yount, but we are certainly witnessing something special here in Milwaukee with those two players and with this team this year.
And the way this team has come together as a unit and really playing as good a baseball as we've seen around here in Milwaukee since '82.
Last time the Brewers won a division was the American League East of 1982. Brewers did have a postseason appearance at 08, but that was as the wild card winner. If you're into magic numbers, it is down to 20 right now after the Brewers win last night and the Cardinals loss earlier today.
A combination of Brewers wins and Cardinals losses. Always fun to keep an eye on that.
And that opportunity doesn't come around very often here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, so enjoy it, right?
Betancourt lifts one in the air to left, and Soriano is there for the out.
Something for the fans to enjoy, not the players to keep an eye on too much. Their job remains the same each and every day, to go out and win games.
I know there was a little concern with the coaching staff coming back to Miller Park after a successful road trip and a lead that swelled to 10 games at one point, 9.5 when this homestand began. But you're trying to insulate the players as much as you can, but there is a lot of activity going on here. There is a lot of planning, and it has to be done. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot that has to be done moving forward. And you have to take those precautions moving into the postseason. I'm pretty sure the coaches wanted to make sure that kind of talk, that kind of chatter wasn't around the field. It's almost impossible to ignore.
These guys know what's going on. I mean, they deal with it. They get around town and they're hearing the things that are being said about them on the radio and on TV. Going around town, fans going up to them, but they've really done a nice job, really staying away from all that, keeping their head down, grinding it out, and they just continue to get better as the season goes on.
And for those players who were here in 08, it's a much different story this season. The Brewers had a big lead, let it get away, and then it was not in their hands to make it to the postseason in 08. Remember, the Mets had to have a collapse, which they did, that allowed the Brewers to obtain the wild card in 2008.
Yeah, but they played pretty well their last 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks of 08, they played well. The Mets did not, and they got in.
This year, there's more of a sense of controlling your own destiny at this point, which obviously with a 9.5 game lead, 10 currently, 10 game lead right now. I feel like you can take care of your own business and you'll get to where you want to go.
And you don't know what's going to happen going forward, but the reason that you feel a little bit differently is the pitching that they have. And you can roll out those 5 starters. I mean, you feel pretty good about staying out of long losing streaks, but you don't know. It could happen.
29 games left. Lucroy takes a strike. Ramon Ortiz has come on and retired the first 5 he has faced in this game after Dempster gave up 5 earned runs in 4 innings. Lucroy right center. Marlon Byrd with room makes a play for the out. Ortiz 6 in a row as we go to the top of the 7th. 5-1 Brewers.
the Brewers with 5 runs in the first 3 innings. Brian Braun got things going with a double in the first. He would come around to score on a Case McGee 2-run home run. Corey Hart would triple in the second. That drove in Jonathan Lucroy. And the final cap to the scoring so far is the Prince Fielder home run way back out there in left center, his 29th of the year. And Yvonne Gallardo continues to do well, to impress in the month of August. Got no walks, 7 strikeouts. He's scattered 5 base hits.
Gallardo making a run at win number 15 on the season. Comes in at 14-8. Marlon Byrd leads off in a line drive base hit. Byrd with a couple of hits tonight. 2 out of 3 against Gallardo, and the Cubs have a leadoff base runner aboard in the 7th. A win tonight for Gallardo will bring him within 1 of the National League lead. Clayton Kershaw and Ian Kennedy are tied for the league lead in wins with 16. Kershaw of the Dodgers, Ian Kennedy of the Diamondbacks.
And it would be a career high for Giovanni.
Roy Halladay has 15 wins this season. Gallardo has at least 13 wins in each of his last 3 seasons. And 14 wins the last 2 years. So trying to push into a different territory, and with every start, every year, he looks more and more like an ace. And you think of what he's done in his career, he's only 25 years old.
Right. They forget about all that. He's starting to settle into the kind of pitcher that he wants to be.
Pop up, shallow right, long run. Hairston wants it, and it's off his glove. Unable to make the catch in foul territory.
Well, he did everything but catch the baseball. He did a nice job getting there. He had a long way to go. That ball was up there quite a ways. Somewhat in double play depth. Shade a little bit towards second base. He got there and just couldn't hold on to it. Took his eye off it a bit. Went right off the end of the glove. I think he was thinking about spinning around and checking out where Marlon Byrd was.
Well, they will give an error to Jerry Hairston Jr. So the second error of the game. Gallardo has the other. Well, Soriano, big cut and a miss. Got him with a curveball, and there was the first out. Strikeout number 8 for Giovanni.
He hasn't made any mistakes with that breaking pitch tonight.
Gallardo's high strikeout total of the year is 10.
Right on that outside corner, cut fastball, and Soriano tried to pull it.
Giovanni Soto with 1 away. That 10 strikeout game for Gallardo came against the Cubs back in June. Fastball right on the corner for a strike. 0-2 the count. That's that fastball Ryan Braun was talking about. As a hitter, he says you just want to give up on it.
This gets on you quick.
Looks like it's going to be down in the zone, and it has that little bit of life, I guess.
Little finish on it.
Finish, that's the word he used. That's what I was looking for. A little finish.
That's why I'm here to help you.
Nice. You are the analyst.
And you get that finish with that wrist snap right at the end. You know, that back spin, and you know, the more you can snap that wrist, the more spin, the rotation you get. That's how you get that ball to finish for you. It seems as though it jumps and rises, but it really doesn't.
And down goes Soto. Gallardo rings the bell on the Cubs catcher. 9 strikeouts for Giovanni Gallardo.
Yep, right on the inside corner. You can see it perfect right on the black. He painted him on the outside corner, then a couple of pitches later right on the inside corner.
Well, Gallardo's pitch count still in great shape. He's only at 88 right now. 65 of those are strikes. He has 9 punch outs, no walks. Cubs will go to their bench. Blake DeWitt will pinch hit. DeWitt was the final out last night.
And he wasn't an easy out either. When he smoked one to Prince, he was able to pick a one hopper and end the game. That ball could have easily gone down the corner.
That was a save for John Axford, his 38th save of the season, 35th consecutive save. Making a winner out of Randy Wolf, who's now 11-8. So the Brewers are in double-digit wins from Gallardo, Greinke, Sean Markham, and Randy Wolf. Gallardo a chance to win number 15 here tonight. Greinke with 12 wins. Markham and Randy Wolf with 11 wins apiece.
And Narveson with 9.
As a 5th starter. And as Paul Harvey would say, now you know the rest of the story. Narveson available in the bullpen tonight. And he'll stay in that bullpen till his September 3rd start against the Cardinals. Two balls, 2 strikes. Little half swing. Did he go? No, he didn't. Phil Cuzzy says he checked his swing.
Yeah, good curveball. Had some good bite on it. Again, there have been some times, early in the year where Gallardo would hang that curveball with 2 strikes. And every one of his breaking pitches has been down all night.
Runner goes, swinging a foul back. Count at 3-2. Bird on the move with 2 outs. Got another sellout here tonight. 44,091, the announced crowd. 3rd largest crowd of the year. Largest crowd of the season was opening day. 26th sellout of the season. Brewers are on their way to 3 million fans. 3-2 pitch, foul back again. Just talking to John Smoltz and Ernie Johnson here at the ballpark today. They're covering the game for TBS tomorrow. Nationally televised game for the rest of the country. And they were commenting about the crowds here, the excitement in Milwaukee. We get a lot of that from those who don't watch baseball here every day.
Yeah, big batter right here. I mean, if DeWitt's able to reach, you got Castro coming up, and one swing of the bat, it becomes a 1-run game. Yeah, DeWitt has been a tough out in this series in his 2 at-bats.
And DeWitt able to lay off. So now Gallardo goes back to the top of the order. DeWitt with a walk, the first walk issued by Giovanni. And here comes Starlin Castro with 2 on and 2 out.
Yep, this is Giovanni's inning. No activity in that Brewers bullpen. The pitch count right now at 96. That was a 9-pitch at bat. Or I should say an 8-pitch at bat to DeWitt.
So here's Castro now. Reached on an infield hit in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3 against Gallardo. Castro not a big home run hitter, but he does have home run power. He hit a long home run here yesterday. Just his 8th homer of the season. But a good hitter. There are many in the Cubs camp that think he's going to contend for a batting title before his career is over. He's only 21 years of age. He's hitting .306.
And he's very good at going up the middle into the opposite field. And there's going to come a point where he's going to be a little bit more patient at the plate. If there's any knock on Castro, and you got to nitpick to find one offensively, he doesn't walk much. He's hitting .306, but his on base percentage at .332. But he's only 21, so plate discipline may come down the road.
Hawkins begins to get loose. Brewers used Saito, Frankie Rodriguez, and John Axford yesterday. 2-0 on Castro. Big pitch coming up here for Gallardo. And he misses, and it's 3-0. And now trouble starting to brew in the 7th inning. Five to 1, the Brewers lead it, scoring all 5 of their runs against Ryan Dempster through the first 3 innings. He lost him. Bases loaded. Back-to-back walks with 2 outs.
And you're probably going to see a visit to the mound by Rick Kranitz, and there he goes. Just to give Giovanni a bit of a breather. There's that Blake DeWitt again. I mean, we talked about his at bat last night being a tough out for Axford, and an 8-pitch at bat for Gallardo, and he finally lost him. And certainly have a guy at the plate that's a tough out as well. Hitting around .290, not much of a home run threat. But tough in these situations, all you want is to put the bat on the baseball. You got a tough customer on deck and Aramis Ramirez.
So Kranitz has had his say, and now Gallardo, in his most significant at bat of the ball game here, the sequence to Darwin Barney. Barney is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a double play ball. Tying run at the plate, and Gallardo misses that corner again. Gallardo did not have a walk for 6 2/3. He's walked the last 2 hitters to go along with his 9 strikeouts. And that one's in there. Good block from Lucroy. 2-1 to count on Barney. This will probably be Gallardo's last hitter, regardless of what happens. Aramis Ramirez on deck. 2-1. Barney fouls it away. An excuse me swing.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was ball 3 right there. Now this is where you want to get it done if you're Giovanni. You don't want to go 3-2 to give the base runners a head start.
Crowd coming to their feet trying to help out Giovanni Gallardo. The 2-2 and a swing and a miss. Gallardo strikes out the side. The Cubs strand the bases loaded in the 7th. 5-1, Milwaukee still leading. Miller Park, a sellout crowd of over 44,000. And a 5-1 Brewers lead over the Chicago Cubs. Our Miller Lite, what's on tap? We're back on Fox Sports Wisconsin tomorrow. The Brewers will send up Zach Greinke against Casey Coleman of the Chicago Cubs. 12:30 is airtime for Brewers Live. Monday is a scheduled off day, and then the Brewers start a series with the Cardinals Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday afternoon. James Russell is the new pitcher, and with Giovanni Gallardo's spot due to lead off this 7th inning, James Russell will match up against Josh Wilson to start it. So Gallardo is out. 7 innings, no earned runs, 10 strikeouts, and he finishes by striking out the side, leaving the bases loaded in the 7th.
Well, another fabulous start by Giovanni Gallardo, who's really putting together a heck of a second half. His July numbers very good. August have been tremendous. And what a big strikeout to Darwin Barney with the bases loaded.
Gallardo with his 12th career 10 strikeout game, 10 or more strikeouts. And his 2nd this year. They have both occurred against the Chicago Cubs. And this starting rotation continues to get the job done night after night. Giovanni in line to win number 15. Be a career high for Gallardo. And the Brewers 6 defensive outs from a victory here tonight. See how Renicky plays the bullpen the rest of the way. Guess it all depends on what happens in this inning.
Right. Well, it's not a save situation, so you figure that K-Rod's not going to come in right away.
Josh Wilson getting a pinch hit appearance. Might see Wilson get a start at second base tomorrow. Renicky's been using a 3-man platoon out there, if you will, with Craig Counsell and Josh Wilson and Jerry Hairston Jr. Hairston getting most of the playing time at second.
Hey, you never know. He might give Nigel Morgan a day off tomorrow out in center field. You push Hairston in center. Allow Wilson to get a start. And how about young Tyler Green?
Green has played second base plenty in his career, mostly at third this year.
You might see Ron Renicky put him in third base. You give Casey tomorrow off. He's got him the Monday off day, so a lot of managers will do that. They'll give a guy a day off, a day off to right before a team day off.
Brewers made a transaction after last night's game. They brought up Taylor Green, and when he does play, it'll be his major league debut. And they sent a pitcher, Tim Dillard, to AAA Nashville because the starting pitchers continue to go deep in games, and you don't need that extra long man as Wilson strikes out. First out of the 7th inning. Roster move after the game last night. Taylor Green brought up. He was hitting .336 at AAA Nashville. 22 homers. He was pushing 90 runs batted in, and Tim Dillard sent back to Nashville, and you're required to stay down there 10 days. So I think Renicky wanted to make sure that Dillard has some work as Corey Hart sends one deep to left, and that is way back and gone. Corey Hart now a single away from the cycle. Double, triple, now a home run, number 20 of the year for Corey Hart, and it's 6-1 Milwaukee.
Man, look at his slider that stayed right down the middle of the plate, and Corey Hart, every one of his hits have been sliders. 2 from Dempster and this one from Russell that stayed right down the middle of the plate. And a typical Corey Hart home run, high and far.
Another 20 home run season for Corey Hart. Missed the first month of the season with that oblique injury that he suffered in spring training. He's put together another solid campaign. 3 hits tonight and a walk. He's a single away from the cycle. Hart with 20 homers and 48 runs batted in now. Nigel Morgan slaps one to left, a base hit. So Morgan with a single, his first hit of the night. And a base runner for Braun.
Yeah, good at bat for Niger. You know, he took that breaking pitch and he didn't try and pull it. And just dumps it into left field. That's what Niger does when he's going well.
Braun with a double and an RBI, scored a run in the first inning. He was robbed of an extra base hit back in the third inning. Marlon Byrd made a leaping catch at the wall. I don't think the ball would have gone out, but it would have been off the top of the wall. Byrd made a great play on him. Ryan is 1 for 3. His batting average is .333. Well, with all that is going on with this team and the success they're having on the field, Ryan Braun has added a hunt for a batting title this year. That's going to be fun to watch going down the stretch.
Well, it gives Braun an extra incentive as the team, you know, moves into, you know, September and mid-September. And Ryan Braun, you figure the stars are aligned for Brawny here as well as he's been at home. And he's hitting .354 against lefties. This is a pretty good matchup for Ryan Braun.
You got the built-in off days, so you don't have to worry about taking days off. Braun gets under one here. Foul territory. Carlos Pena makes a catch for the out, and Brawny is 1 for 4. Two men are out in the inning. A run is in on a Corey Hart homer. Here comes Fielder. By the way, if you're wondering, Braun has already achieved enough plate appearances to win a batting title, so he could sit the rest of the season and still be eligible. Not that he will, but he's already at 511 plate appearances. It requires 501. Fielder, that big shift on way out there in the grass is Barney, and he gets Prince to end the inning. But the Brewers tack one on. Corey Hart having some kind of night. Adds a home run to a double and a triple. Single away from the cycle at 6-1 Brewers.
At each non-marquee home game, you can purchase a $10 ticket in the Club Goodwill bleacher section of Miller Park. Club Goodwill tickets are sold at the ticket windows in left field. Goodwill offering value in our stores, ballpark, and our community.
Every section full tonight, including the Club Goodwill section out in left center. 6-1 Brewers as we move to the 8th inning now, and it's going to be LaTroy Hawkins who will have the 8th.
Yeah, but he was getting hot in his 7th inning, so if he's warmed up, bring him in. And LaTroy has been very good. He and Saito have really smoothed things out in that bullpen since their return from the disabled list. LaTroy last pitched on Tuesday at Pittsburgh, got roughed up a little bit, but had not allowed a run in 11 straight appearances before that.
And Hawkins hits in a game that the Brewers had a comfortable lead as well. At the time he came in, it was 9-4. As Aramis Ramirez on the first pitch singles into left field. 2 more hits tonight for Aramis Ramirez.
I think he swung at the first pitch in every at bat. Every single at bat for Aramis Ramirez. We talk about predictable, but it works for him.
You know, Ramirez has hit 24 homers this year. Half of those home runs have come on the first pitch of the at bat.
He did it to Milwaukee here at Miller Park. Why you throw him a fastball? I mean, I can understand in this situation, up by 5 runs, you don't want to be walking people, but ordinarily, last thing you want to throw that guy is a first pitch fastball. He's going to swing at it, and most of the time he's going to hit it hard.
Sean Marshall loosening. Brewers get a run in the 7th inning on a Corey Hart homer. 6-1 Milwaukee on 9 hits. The Cubs have 7 hits, but only 1 run. Indicative of their story this year. We talked about the Cubs with the 3rd most hits in the National League, and yet they are in the bottom half of the league in runs scored.
Well, they've only had 1 inning where they've been able to put together more than 1 hit, and that was the inning that they scored. 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight for Chicago.
Cubs have 1 run. It was an unearned run in the 2nd inning after Gallardo committed an error. Gallardo goes 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run unearned, and 10 strikeouts tonight. Struck out the side in his last inning. Pena scored the lone run back in the 2nd after an 0-2 bunt. Hawkins, a former Cub, grew up in Cub country, Gary, Indiana. Had a rough go in Chicago.
Well, he was forced to be a closer, and things didn't work out too well for LaTroy as a closer for the Cubs. Much more suited, much better suited as a setup man.
Pena in the air to left. That ball's got plenty of air under it. And Braun will settle under it to make the catch. Well, Pena hits some of the highest fly ball outs you see in the major leagues. It's towering.
Yeah, he's got some incredible power. That pitch was actually out of the strike zone. It was up. Able to get enough of it, almost lifted it out of here to the opposite field. Got to be strong to be able to do that.
One out for Tyler Colvin. tomorrow, Zach Greinke against Casey Coleman. Greinke with a 12-5 record, ERA over 4. He is coming off a rough start against the Pirates. He gave up 7 earned runs. So Greinke looking for a bounce-back start tomorrow. Rotation is set for the Cardinals series with Markham, Randy Wolf, and Yovani Gallardo. I believe I said Narveson will start against the Cardinals. Narveson will pitch next as a starter against the Houston Astros on the 3rd of September. So you got Markham and Jaime Garcia Tuesday, Randy Wolf and Edwin Jackson on Wednesday, and then Gallardo against Jake Westbrook for the finale. That's a 3:10 start on Thursday, by the way. A little bit different start time for an afternoon game. Typically they're at noon or 1 o'clock, but this one's going to be 3:10. School starts for most Wisconsin schools Thursday. So it's a great opportunity to leave school early and come join us at the ballpark to catch the first inning.
Yeah, right away.
Just establish the parameters immediately.
Does that include your child?
No, no.
Oh, no. She's got to stay in school.
She's under different set of guidelines.
I see.
That's a fair ball down the line. Braun trying to cut it off, and he's able to cut it off. That's a good play by Braun. A double by Tyler Colvin, so a 2nd and 3rd for the Cubs here in the 8th inning. Second hit of the night for Colvin.
Yeah, pretty good job by Colvin just to get a piece of it, and with the shift, you know, Casey way off the line. A little slap job right down the third baseline for a base hit and a double. Let's check it out. You know, the pitch was up, but look at Colvin just trying to get on top of it. He bounces it in front of home plate. It stays fair and right down that left field line for a double. You can see where Casey's playing.
Marlon Byrd is swinging a miss. Byrd with 2 hits tonight. Cubs have 8 hits in this game and only 1 run.
It's kind of been the story for them all year, hasn't it?
A lot of base runners, not much production with base runners on.
Yeah, Byrd pulling off that cut fastball from Hawkins in back-to-back pitches. And same pitch, cutter away, same result, swing and a miss.
Oh, and 2 the count on Marlon Byrd. 2nd and 3rd with 1 away. Hawkins could use a strikeout here. Byrd, a little bouncer, going to be a tough play. Hawkins plays it off the glove. No chance to get Byrd. And the bases are loaded for the Cubs. That'll be an infield hit for Marlon Byrd.
Yeah, so a pretty big run posted by Corey Hart in the bottom of the 7th. Tying run still on deck. Well, nothing hit very hard in this inning off of Hawkins. Ramirez got a jam shot into left. Colvin with that little funky swing down the line in left. And a swinging bunt for a base hit.
Well, again, the Cubs have the bases loaded. The 2nd consecutive inning they have loaded them up, this time with 1 out. Brewers are set up to turn 2 to get out of this inning. Soriano fouls it back. Francisco Rodriguez starts to loosen up. We didn't see a lot of LaTroy Hawkins last year. He was injured early in the season. An injury that required shoulder surgery, but I don't remember Hawkins throwing the cut fastball as often as he has this season, at least since he's gotten back to 100%.
Yeah, I think he started to throw that because his velocity has been down somewhat. It used to be fastball slider for Hawk. They'll throw that curveball from time to time, but you pick up that extra pitch when your stuff isn't what it used to be. You have to change what you're doing out there if you're not throwing 95, 96 consistently, and that's what he used to do. You have to make adjustments.
Well, he's got Soriano down in the count, 0-2. 6-1 Brewers. Cubs threatening again with the bases loaded. He lays off. Ramirez over at third base. He started this inning with a single. Colvin had a double, and Bird an infield hit. Soriano, good low ball hitter. Hawkins goes upstairs. Soriano lays off. That's a pitch Soriano has chased in the past. Not this time. You got a home run threat at the plate in Soriano and a home run threat on deck. Soriano has the only RBI tonight for the Cubs. He drove in Pena in the second. 2-2 the count. And a line drive left field, fair ball in the corner. This is big trouble. Marlon Byrd around third, and he will score 3 runs in on a double by Alfonso Soriano. And it is a ball game again.
Well, the only real hard hit ball by the Cubs in that inning was the double by Soriano. And that will be it for LaTroy Hawkins.
6-4 Milwaukee as Soriano delivers with 3 big RBIs. He's driven in all 4 Cubs runs tonight. On a 2-2 pitch, he whistles one down the left field line, and that's it for Hawkins. Here comes Francisco Rodriguez. The screws tightening up here at Miller Park. Cubs have the tying run coming to the plate. We'll take a break, set up K-Rod when we continue.
For the 8th, it's a 2-run game now. It's pitch by pitch on Alfonso Soriano. Hawkins does a nice job with 2 cutters to get ahead of him. 0-2, and then Soriano tries to be a little bit more patient, and finally on a 2-2 pitch, he got a fastball down and in. That's his hot zone. He likes the ball down, he likes it in, and he's able to whistle it down the left field line to clear the bases. And now the Cubs have the tying run at home plate. That did not take long.
Cubs had the bases loaded in the 7th inning. Gallardo struck out Darwin Barney to strand the bases loaded. But they deliver this time. And now Francisco Rodriguez With a tying run coming up, Giovanni Soto got Soriano out at second and one out in the inning. Soto batting out of the 8th spot in the order. He'd be hard pressed to find as much power, the power threat at the bottom of a National League batting order than the Cubs. Soriano with 22, Soto with 13 on the year.
Yeah.
A breaking ball from Francisco Rodriguez. Evens a count, a ball and a strike. K-Rod worked a perfect 8th inning yesterday. 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. And he went right through the middle of the Cubs order. Ball and a strike on Soto. Soriano takes off and a swing and a miss. Stolen base for Alfonso Soriano. That could be big. That puts a runner at third with just one out.
Now the Brewers are still going to play their infield back. They're not, with only one out. They're going to try and defend against the hitter. They'll concede a run to get an out.
Big pitch right here, the 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Soto strikes out. K-Rod went back to the breaking ball, and down goes Soto. Out number 2.
Yeah, good job by Lucroy to keep it in front of him with Soriano at third base. Good job. He keeps the glove down. Baseballing glove, and he gets the out. Completely fooled is Soto up there at home plate.
And it'll be Reed Johnson to pinch hit for the Cubs. Third pinch hitter they've used in the 9-hole tonight. After a short start by Ryan Dempster. Dempster went 4 innings, gave up 5 earned runs.
And 5 for 20 is Reed Johnson as a pinch hitter, including a homer.
2 outs in the inning. 6-4 Milwaukee in the 8th. Almost hit him. Johnson started last night, played right field. Was 1 for 3 with a walk. He's been on a tear at the plate lately. Getting a lot of playing time for Mike Quade. One and one to count.
Yeah, looking for a home run on that swing. Pitch around his shoulders.
Johnson has 15 hits in his last 9 starts, which is why he has found himself in the starting lineup just about every day lately. Not today. Quade using him off the bench in a big spot. Francisco Rodriguez against Reed Johnson. Two balls and a strike. Top of the order coming up next, Starlin Castro. LaTroy Hawkins gets just 1 out, gives up 4 hits in the 5 batters he faced tonight. At this point, 3 runs are in on Hawkins' line. Still has a runner out there, his responsibility at third base. Bouncing ball. McGee cuts it off, throws on the run in time. Rodriguez out of the inning as K-Rod pumps the fist. 6-4 Milwaukee. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Rodriguez comes in to cool the fire and gets out of the 8th. Our Usingers game summary: it is now a 6-4 ball game as we go to the Brewer half of the 8th inning. Corey Hart is a single away from a cycle. He has 3 hits, including a home run, double, and a triple. He's walked. Giovanni Gallardo in line for his 15th win. 7 strong tonight for Gallardo. No earned runs, 10 strikeouts. And Alfonso Soriano has driven in all 4 of the Cubs' runs.
Boy, how big is that home run by Corey Hart looking right now? Instead of the 1-run lead, it's a 2-run lead as Sean Marshall takes over. 2 of the 3 lefties in that Cubs bullpen now have been in this game. 64 appearances from Marshall and a .261 earned run average. His numbers have been very good. Only 13 walks and over 60 strikeouts for the Cubs left-hander.
Here's Casey McGee now to start the bottom of the 8th inning. McGee's had a good night. Hit a 2-run homer in the first. Had a single in the 3rd inning. McGee with his 11th home run of the season in the first. And now 63 runs batted in. Big cut and a miss. McGee starting to put the numbers back together. He got off to such a slow start in the first half. He's not going to match his production from last year, but he's had a good second half. Pretty good sample size here for McGee. If you go back 37 games, he's hitting just under .290. And in those 37 games, McGee has 6 homers and 27 RBIs. Just to give you an idea of what he's done lately. And for McGee, it's all about what he's done lately. A swing and a miss. Boy, that is a big league curveball right there from Sean Marshall.
He's not overpowering, but he has a good arsenal of off-speed pitches. He keeps the baseball down. And Sean Marshall has turned into one of the better setup men in the National League. You saw his numbers when he came in as John Axford gets ready for the 9th inning. And Marshall, 63 appearances before tonight. And 60 punch-outs and 13 walks.
There was a time when the Cubs were using Marshall as their closer. Carlos Marmol is back in that role once again. It's part of the bullpen that Quada uses in winning scenarios, with Marshall setting up for Marmol. So anytime you can get that part of the bullpen in a game when you're ahead, that's a bonus. Castro winds it up and throws out Betancourt. Wow.
Hose, isn't it?
Man, that is some kind of arm. And he took his time as well, and you're thinking, wow, he's really trusting that arm, and why not?
And every now and again, young player likes to show it off. The Cubs had one that liked to do that quite a bit, Sean Dunston. Well, it is a nice play, taking your time, slowing the game down a bit, knowing that he has the big arm, and he gets the out.
How much laundry could you hang on that throw? A whole week's worth?
Week and a half.
Week and a half? Okay. Jerry Hairston Jr. with 2 away. Jerry's walked and doubled tonight. 1 for 2. I saw Jerry's brother Scott Hairston of the Mets ended up pulling an oblique. I think he's done for the year. Tough injury. I was talking to Jerry about that on the plane just the other day. Those two matched up in that Mets series. That was an impressive catch by that guy. I don't know if we have it or not, but There's not a better catch by a fan anywhere in the big leagues tonight. That was a one-handed.
Did he save his buddy?
He saved it. He was very nonchalant about it. That was really nice. Swing and a miss. Hairston is gone on strikes. 1-2-3 inning for Marshall. The stage is set. The Axeman cometh. 6-4 Brewers. We go to the ninth and a save situation for John Axford. Last 55 games. This is going back to his last blown save, which was in mid-April. 2-1 record, 35 for 35 in save opportunities, an ERA of 1.49. Axford saved number 38 yesterday, and a chance for number 39 here tonight. If he picks up this save tonight, he will join Derek Turnbow and Dan Kolb on the all-time Brewers franchise list, second most saves in a single season. Francisco Cordero is the Brewers franchise record holder with 44 saves. He did that in 07, and John Axford has a great shot to break that record this year.
Yeah, with a save tonight, it would be 39, one behind the league leader, Craig Kimbrell, with the Braves.
6-4, Brewers with a 2-run lead as Starlin Castro leads off, top of the order for the Cubs. That's what the National League leaderboard looks like in the save category beginning play today. Kimbrell, rookie for the Atlanta Braves, with 40. He is close to breaking a rookie record for saves, which was established last year by Neftali Feliz of the Rangers. Top of the order, Castro, Barney, Aramis, Ramirez. Brewers by 2 here in the ninth after the Cubs scored 3 runs in the 8th. Bouncing ball to short. Betancourt winds it up, throws him out number 1.
They went with a fastball down and away, and Castro went after it and rolled over on it. There's a big out, that leadoff out in the ninth. Axford coming right back after falling behind 2-0.
Well, Darwin Barney has had a rough night at the plate tonight. 3 strikeouts, and he bounced into a double play. Barney was Gallardo's last hitter. Gallardo struck him out with the bases loaded in the 7th. Giovanni went 7. Axford trying to save it for Gallardo. It would be Giovanni's 15th win. And a strike, 2-1 to count.
Now you got to do anything you can do. Keep that tying run from coming to home plate. The last thing you want to do is walk a man to first base. Very dangerous hitter on deck.
Barney, a bouncer to second. Jerry Hairston Jr. makes the play. 2 gone. Axford even behind in the count. Able to get a couple of ground ball outs here in the 9th. And now they're on their feet. A sellout crowd at Miller Park. And the way Aramis Ramirez is gone tonight, I'd be willing to bet Bill's house that he's swinging at the first pitch.
Yeah, my house, huh? I keep it. You know, even though he's not representing the tying run, I mean, ordinarily you take a strike, but you know, not Ramirez. He's hacking.
It's a great matchup, power against power. Ramirez with 24 homers. He's got 2 hits tonight. He's extended his hitting streak to 15 games.
.97, his best fastball.
Brewers a strike away from a 10.5 game lead in the National League Central. 0-2 to Ramirez. High fly ball, center field. Morgan is back. He's there, and he's got it. And the Brewers win again. John Axford keeps it rolling. Number 39 of the year. His 36th consecutive save. And the Brewers with a 6-4 win, making Giovanni Gallardo a 15-game winner in the major leagues. That'll do it for Miller Park. Our final score, 6-4. Brewers baseball returns tomorrow to Fox Sports Wisconsin for the final game of this series. Coverage begins at 12:30. The Brewers are back on WMLW next Saturday as they battle the Houston Astros. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Coming up next, it's the Sports Fanatics, the final out post game. For Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. The Brewers win again.